Both of them. Why is that?
They both should be. I mean, yeah, they both dressed. They're both in uniform.
Oh, cool. Are they both going to play?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you now? Since you're not in the district anymore.
South Usually.
South Usually.
You can put it on the weekend.
That might cost us the game. I always play this at the other school when they come out on the field. I'll be playing that. They get their ass kicked. Bad either.
Hello, Shaker Heights varsity football fans, and welcome into the Cleveland Heights Stadium where your Red Raiders are getting set to take on the Cleveland Heights Tigers. In Week 10, the final week of the regular season, Shaker Heights more than likely will have their road end here. If they win this game, they only have an 8% chance of making the postseason, and with a loss, it's less than 1%. And right now, Shaker Heights has not beaten Cleveland Heights in many years. All these seniors on the Shaker football team are yet to see Shaker beat the Cleveland Heights Tigers, and the last time that they were here, we'll talk more about that, they lost that game 70-6. But again, a lot of key players were out, and again, we'll talk more about that as the game goes on. But right now, we're just focused on Cleveland Heights' senior night and Shaker Heights trying to get their final victory to go to 4-6. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. We'll send you down to the field. My name is Vaughn Ullum, senior day call, and it's my final call for Shaker Heights football. Thanks for tuning in. Shaker Heights in their all-white look, red helmets, red numerals, and red lining down the sides. Cleveland Heights in their all-black look, black helmets, black jerseys, black pants, really black cleats as well, with the yellow accents, of course. Cleveland Heights, a big football program, and we actually have a lot of uniform combinations for Cleveland Heights, but today they're just going with their classic black and yellow look. Really kind of resembles the Steelers colors, and if you're a Shaker football fan and a Cleveland football fan for the Browns as well, you're going to hate that color combination of black and yellow. No different today. Andrew Mullen getting set to kick this one away from the 40-yard line. He'll run on up and kick this one away. It'll be taken in back around the 5 and be run out from about the 25. He's got one man to beat, and that's the kicker himself. But now, eventually, we'll get more Red Raiders coming along to help. And eventually, the man to bring him down was number 46, Ben Guiduli. My goodness, the sophomore brings him down eventually to the 35 is where they mark it down. And the Cleveland Heights offense will be getting set up on their senior day game. So His game originally scheduled to be actually a senior night. It was scheduled originally for last night, Friday at 7. But under the circumstances, both schools thought it better just to play this game under the sun. Now it's just peeking out from behind the clouds. Typically a run game, heavy offense, and right now they're going to give it to Marquise Davis, and this is exactly why. He breaks one tackle, and it's a 35-yard touchdown run for Cleveland Heights to immediately go up by 6. $11:37 remaining in quarter number 1, and Heights is already up 6-0. About to tack on a 7th, assuming they put this one through the uprights. My goodness, talk about a quick strike. And that's what we saw last week from Heights as well. Actually, they're going to go for 2 right off the bat. And right now, why not keep giving it to Marquise Davis? That's exactly what they try, and it looks like he will pass the goal line and put up 2 more. It's 8-0. Cleveland Heights leads. Now, Drew Pastor's Fantastic 50, the Ohio State High School football database, they predicted this game would be very one-sided. They predicted a Heights victory by 31 points. However, they predicted Medina would beat Shaker Heights last week by 9. And, well, that didn't happen. Medina was supposed to win that game. It would have been a big victory for them in a season that has really fallen short of expectations after their quarterback, Danny Stoddard, and their past quarterback before that, Drew Aller, who's currently at Penn State. And, yeah, their offense has been incredible over these past few seasons, but right now Medina has been struggling. They lost that game 22-21 on a big 2-point conversion from Shaker Heights with 0 seconds remaining, and it was an odd formation, but it worked out for Shaker. And they ended up tacking on the 3rd victory of the season. Right now it's looking like Shaker will stop their return down at the 35, the exact same spot where Heights finished off their return. However, the difference is, for Heights, that's a lot better. For Shaker, you still have 65 yards to go. Shaker Heights offense led by Jasir Eady, and he had a solid game against Medina. Except for that big pick 6 that really changed the game to go in favor of Medina. Luckily, however, Jasir Eady was able to get Shaker back on track for what would be that game-winning drive. And let's see what Shaker can cook up here on this first drive. Right now, they're going to go on a short slant. They were looking that time number 84, Lyndon Chavis. And if you're seeing that on the near sideline, that is correct. That is number 15, Cornell Beard, back in the backfield here today. We're also expecting to see Trey McNutt a lot more today. He is once again dressed. We haven't seen him since before that Week 5 game against Benedictine, that game at John Carroll, out here in University Heights, same as this game. And here Cornell Beard goes forward for a run of only 1. To make it a 3rd down, 9 yards to go. He's going to have 3 receivers out wide to the left, 1 to the near side. Cornell Beard still in the backfield with Eady. Fake snap, and now Shaker looks in unison over to their sideline, trying to get a motion of what to do next. They're still looking. And eventually we'll get the high snap. Jasir Eady recovers. Quickly, he's under pressure. He'll dump it off to Cornell Beard, and he'll make do with that dump off. He'll move it forward just with his legs, and he'll be just short of midfield by about 3 yards. Ball spotted at the 47. And good work by Cornell Beard to move those sticks. and keep this drive alive, even though it was a 3rd and 9 and dump-off pass. Typically not going to work. Jasir Eady was under pressure quickly in the pocket. And now 10-20 left to go in this first quarter. Beard remains in the backfield with Eady. Ball at the 42. We got a man in motion to the near side. Now Jasir Eady stares him down. That's his first target, but now the pocket going to collapse. And he'll be taken down just before getting back to the line of scrimmage. It might be a loss of 1, and it's looking like that'll be the case. Shaker Heights, last year when these two squads played, of course, it's like that Ohio State-Michigan thing. You play the final week of the regular season, and if you meet in the postseason, you meet in the postseason. But last year when these two schools meet, Shaker kept it very competitive. It was 41-31 the final. They're an option play. Jasir Eady had the option to pitch it back to Beard. Instead, he kept it, but immediately as he looked up after his decision, he found that there were 2 Tigers right in his face, and they were able to bring him down quickly for another loss, and now they're back to the 42. Lost 5 yards on these past 2 plays, won the first play for this past one. And now let's see what Shaker can do this time. Typically a dump-off pass isn't going to work twice in the same way it did last time. Jasir Eady drops back in the pocket. He's going to sling it down the field. He was looking that time for number 22 of Shaker Heights, and that is indeed Kevin Lowry, the junior, but he was guarded by Marquise Davis, and you can see him. He's a linebacker and a running back. You're going to see him on each side of the ball. And already Shaker Heights, it's not a 3-and-out. They got 1 first down, but now they're going to be heading off the field as the punt team comes out there. It's going to be Lucas White, as you see him on the left side of your screen, punting this one away as he stands at the 27-yard line. We saw 1 fake earlier this season. We're not expecting another. Here's the punt. And it was a pretty solid punt. Will be taken in just around the 30. He'll work it to the near side. He's got good blocking, and a good return gets him just up past the 40. And Heights, once again, has great field position to start off their drive. 8:25 left to go in this first quarter. The Tigers already leading by 8. They're looking to extend that lead further if they can. We're yet to see a pass attempt. And again, same thing as last season. They lean on Marquise Davis no matter what, and that's why he's the commit to Kentucky, the SEC school. He's a hard commit, even though he had so many offers. And here's another run to him. And he'll move it forward for a gain of about 6, maybe 5. And it looks like that'll be the case. So he's halfway there. 2nd and 5 coming up. But Marquise Davis, a guy that's had so many offers, and not just any offers. They're Division I, phenomenal, big program offers. Right now we have a man in motion. It's number 14 of Heights, and now we're going to get a run up the middle once again to Marquise Davis. He's held up and eventually thrown back by number 45, Romero Carter.
Stop by number 45, Romeo Carter. 3rd down and 2, Heights.
It's going to be a 3rd down and 2. Gain of 3 by Marquise Davis, the 4-star senior running back. Here on his senior day, he's looking to make his presence known. And once again, we're going to run up the middle, and he's taken down short of the line to gain. The tackle made by Carter and Trey McNutt, both getting in on the play. And so the big running back will come off the field. But the offense stays out, so we'll see what goes here. It's another run up the middle, blown up in the backfield by Shaker's defense, getting there quickly. That tackle was made by number 33, James Wood, and Zavell Bloodworth, the senior, in on the play as well. Big defensive look from Shaker early on, standing tall in an interesting decision to take out Davis when you really need him most. But they took out the Kentucky hard commit, the 20th best running back in the entire nation's class of 2025. You don't put him in, and, well, that's what happens. So Shaker's offense back out. Jasir Eady, quick snap. He's going to hand the ball off to Cornell Beard. He can maybe get a gain of 1, but, and it looks like that it actually will be the case. He's going to gain 1 single yard, and it'll be a second down, 9 yards to go. Jasir Eady in that Medina game had some good throws, so if you are head coach Alex Nicholson, maybe you just got to trust him a little bit more against a defense that's not going to give you any free passes. 6 minutes, 10 seconds left to go. The clock continues to roll after the run. There, high snap. We're going to run it to Cornell Beard once again to the far side. He's going to break free of a couple tackles, and now he's going to be dragged down to the turf with a big pickup past midfield. We'll see where they officially spot it. And actually, they're going to rule that he was just short of midfield, back at the 49. Big work, big pickup by Cornell Beard. We saw it, that big play against Benedictine, when it was the dump-off pass, and he just makes it work by himself. Of course, the blocking is always going to help you out, but it's mainly Cornell Beard just getting the job done with his legs. And right now we got 2 men in the backfield with Eady. We'll see what happens here. He's going to fake the give, drops back in the backfield. He's going to throw it up, and taken down to the turf was the receiver. No flags. And so it'll just go down as a clean, incomplete pass from Jasir Eady. He's looking down the field, past midfield to about the 35. And now 5:50, the clock stops, left to go in the first quarter. So far, Jasir Eady 0 for 3 through the air. Now it'll be a second down, 10 yards to go. Oh, high snap, gets over the head of Jasir Eady. He just needs to fall on the ball, and eventually he will, back near the 30. So that play blew up right in the face of the Shaker offense before it really ever got started. And it's going to be a loss of about 18 yards. So now, if you really want to pick up this first down, you got to get from your own 31 to the opponent 41. And Jasir Eady trying to evade the sack. He's taken down back at the 20. Holy cow.
Quarterback sack on the play, number 57, Jamil.
So now this is going to be a 4th and a county mile.
4th down, Shaker.
It's the 3rd sack of Eady. And out comes the punt team once more for Shaker. The Tigers already up by 8. Hopefully Shaker can limit another big return. But we're going to see. Lucas White to punt this one away. He stands at the 5-yard line. And there's the punt. He's taken down to the turf. We're going to get a flag down for the personal foul on the late hit of the punter. And, well, you can't do that. We've seen Shaker do that. We saw it actually twice in one game from Shaker, hitting a punter. But now on the 4th and, again, ways away, you had to go about 39 yards for the first down. And now it's going to be a personal foul, roughing the punter with 4:12 left to go. But we're waiting to get the official call. from the referee. And indeed, it is going to be a personal foul. And now a sideline warning as well. But a 4th and 39 yards. 39 yards to go on the 4th down and a big penalty. And now Shaker's offense is going to return, even though, well, they didn't do too much to get back out there, but get back out there they do. Jasir Eady comes back out. Cornell Beard in the backfield will follow suit. First down, 10 yards to go. They're going to start at their own 35, same as their first drive. Got to control the snap, and this time it's a good one. Handoff up the middle. We go to Cornell Beard. It'll be a gain of 2, 2nd and 8 coming up. Shaker down by 8 early on in the game. And a touchdown, and really no need for the 2-point conversion, but they went for it anyway.
2nd down and 8. Shaker.
And so less than 4 minutes to go in this first quarter of play. Jasir Eady stands back at the 32. He's going to throw it. Pocket collapses. He's got a man wide open downfield, but overshot Lyndon Chavis. And a great opportunity. He had him wide open, the junior receiver down the field. But he just overthrew him by a couple yards, and we're going to get reset at a 3rd down and 8 to go. He's got to get to the 45. Ball currently spotted at the 37. Jasir Eady, Cornell backfield. Cornell Beard in the backfield with him. They look in unison to get the signal from the sideline, and now here we go, 3rd and 8. Here's a slant pass. He finds Beard from out in the backfield, and now he's going to run to the near side. He slows down. He's got no blockers in front of him, but 5 Tigers, and eventually he's going to be forced out of bounds near the 30. Big field flipper and a big pass from Jasir Eady, but most of the work done by Cornell Beard. But now it looks like there's a penalty marker, and Shaker Heights is working their way back, and the Tigers are going to follow suit. And it's a holding on the Shaker offense. Unbelievable. Take away the yardage. And now the ball will be spotted back to the 27, 26. 3 minutes, 15 seconds to go. The clock is still rolling, as it has been this whole time. And no one in the backfield with Eady. He's going to fake the give. He's just going to run it himself. He's got no blockers in front of him. He has one more man to beat, and he'll get past him and run past the 45, which is exactly where he needed to end up. And it looks like they're going to move those chains. Big quarterback keeper from Jasir Eady, nicknamed J10, and J10 got a lot more than 10 yards to pick up that first down, and that is big from the quarterback here in his junior year. So he's going to have another season to develop. Hopefully he uses the offseason to his advantage, but right there we're seeing him move those legs, and we're seeing him move those legs well. Shaker down by 8. We're going to hand this one off to Cornell Beard. He'll barrel over one man and down the sideline. He's still moving, but it looks like they rule that he was out of bounds. The coach is furious. They don't believe he stepped out, and nor did Cornell Beard, but it looks like they're going to rule him out all the way back at the 45. He thought he should still keep running, but nope. Regardless, it's going to be a first down, 10 yards to go when we come back for Shaker's offense. And right now they are rolling. We'll be back. Vaughn Ullum on the call. 2.5 minutes left to go in this first quarter of action. Shaker's offense back out to the field after a good, solid run from Cornell Beard. And right now, we're getting set for the 1st and 10. Here, Jasir Edie on an option, and it's fumbled back. He was looking for Cornell Beard on the pitch, and it's fumbled over to number 43 of the defense, and he takes it to the house, but it looks like they're going to mark him out of bounds before he got there. And indeed, that is the case. Big return from Sinatra Williams, the 5'7" linebacker. And here on his senior day, he's going to get a big turnover. And now Marquise Davis back out there with his offense. He stands in the backfield next to the quarterback. Of course, the quarterback, number 10, Asher Wilson, but we're not really going to be calling his name too much. Oh, here's a pass, and it's incomplete. And it'll make its way all the way to the Shaker sideline. And so first pass attempt from Wilson. It's going to be incomplete down to the turf. .2:13 left to go in the first quarter. Shaker down by 8. But Heights is going to try to make that deficit just a little bit larger if they can, maybe double it up. Asher Wilson stands back at the 29. Davis in the backfield with him. We got a man in motion. That's number 2, but it's going to be a handoff to Marquise Davis, who's taken down after a gain of about 5. So he's halfway there. It was a 2nd down and 10, now a 3rd down and 5. And we'll see what happens next. Do they go with Davis once again? We're about to find out. Asher Wilson backs up to the 24. And Shaker's defense, mainly a line right in front of the O-line. And you can tell that they are going to send some pressure, and indeed they do. Marquise Davis takes it to the near side, but still on the inside of the line, and he will not go down easy. He's going to be getting that 1st down by about 4 yards, and the ball will be spotted at the 10. 1st down. And do they say that it's going to be 1st and goal? Indeed, that's the case. 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Davis in the backfield with Wilson. Man in motion. They love sending their man in motion. And right here, the pass was going to number 14, DeJuan Jones. And on the coverage was number 22, Kevin Lowry. But he could have had an opportunity to pick the ball off, but he wasn't looking towards the ball. He was looking to the man he was covering. And unfortunately for him, the ball sailed right over his head, and it falls incomplete. 2nd down and goal from the 10. But it looks like there was a penalty. Must have been a personal foul because they move him back 15 yards. Ball moves back to the 25. It's a 1st and goal from a quarter of the football field out. And now it looks like we're getting another official's whistle. Asher Wilson trying to get a signal from his coaches while the referees sort things out. I think they're talking about what down it should be, because the referee's huddling up, as you can see in the corner of your screen. Some of them are throwing up 1s, some of them are throwing up 2s. And it looks like it's going to be a 2nd down and goal from 25 yards out. And here's a run to the inside. Now Marquise Davis evades pressure and tries to make his way to the near side. And it'll be a limited gain. Of course, when you got 25 yards to go, it's going to be a limited gain even if you get 10 yards.
Tackle made. Number 31, Savelle Bloodworth.
Zavale Bloodworth was on the stop. It's a 3rd down and 23 yards to go.
3rd down and goal, Heights.
To the goal line. 20 seconds remain in the quarter. And here's a pass. Asher Wilson looking on the slant, and he's taken down right after the reception. The reception taken in by Landon Pohl, a big man, 6'5", but it was quickly taken down by, I believe that was James Wood. But regardless, that takes us to the end of quarter number 1. Shaker Heights is down by 8 points. But, of course, we still have 36 more minutes of good old high school football rivalry action to go. And we'll be right back for the call of quarter number 2. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ulliman. We'll be right back. And we're back to it here for the second quarter.
Make sure you purchase your 50/50 raffle
Excuse the camera. We've got a difficult situation up here in the press box with these poles, so we're just trying to work around them for the time being. Right now, Heights on a 4th and goal from plenty of yards out, and the receiver had no idea it was coming to him, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Asher Wilson's pass, yeah, it was making its way to number 24 of Cleveland Heights. Number 24 is Kajuan Reed, who's actually listed on the roster as a defensive back. My goodness, excuse the camera for the time being. Again, this situation here in the Heights press box, not ideal. But regardless, we're going to play on. Jasir Edie will be taking the snap between the hash marks and handing it off to Cornell Beard, who evades one tackle, and he's got a lot of green turf grass in front of him, and he's taken down out of bounds. But it looks like we've got a flag back there around the 12-yard line, and it's more than likely a holding on Shaker, and that's what initial signs do tell. And my goodness, Shaker just will not hold off on the holding penalties.
Holding is the call on the play.
And so that pushes Shaker back even further than they were. They were originally spotted at the 14. So that's a half the distance to the goal line penalty. So now they're spotted back to the 7. Cornell Beard in the backfield, really right up against that goal line. Same with Edie. And Beard going to get another handoff. He'll evade one tackle, but then be taken down once again. A gain of 3.
Rush on the play, number 15, Cornell Beard. Tackle made on the play, number 23, Michael Beeman.
Good work by Michael Veeman to take him down, limiting the gain. And now it looks like we've got another flag. It's a sideline warning once again.
Penalty marker on the field.
And this time it's on Heights once more. Heights just a bit too anxious to get onto the field, and in doing so, It can start to hurt them, but right now all they're getting is warnings, so we play on. It's going to be a second down and about 13, 14 yards to go. Jasir Eady looking to go to the air this time, and he's got his man past the 30-yard line up against the 33. Pass complete that time. So I believe that was 18, Jaden Holmes. The tall junior able to beat the coverage. He was the only guy playing the ball. The defensive back was all focused on him. And it's the first completion after Shaker in that first quarter went 0 for 4. They're finally getting that completion and moving the sticks. Here's Cornell Beard on another good run. Can he beat these final two guys? He stays up. He's got one man behind him, and he's taken down after getting inside of the red zone past the 20-yard line. We'll see where they spot him, but a big gain and a big field flipper for the Red Raider offense. 11:03 left to go in this second quarter, and Shaker's offense is rolling now. And in that first quarter, Shaker only had 2.1 yards per carry. But on that one, 49 yards on the pickup. And now Jasir Eady on the pitch to Beard. Tries to evade one tackle, but he's taken down after a gain of about 2. Maybe really only 1. So now the clock will roll. Shaker losing 8-0 currently on the Battle of Lee Road. Of course, only a 9-minute drive from the Shaker Heights High School campus right here to the Cleveland Heights High School campus. And again, no matter the result of this game, this one more than likely the last one for these seniors, so they're going to play their heart out and leave it all out on this field at the Cleveland Heights Stadium. Here's Jasir Eady. Under pressure, he flips this one up to Kevin Lowry, and somehow he hangs on to the football, but he's looking like he's hurting. Between the 10 and the 5, and now we're going to get an injury timeout. That was a hard hit on to Kevin Lowry, number 22. And so we're going to step aside while he gets tended to. Thank you very much for tuning in. Shaker still on the offensive drive. We'll be right back. Kevin Lowry back off. He jogs off to the sideline, and it's going to be now a first and goal from about the 7. And they're just going to run this one off to Cornell Beard. He finds the hole, extends forward, and he will be in for the touchdown. And Shaker Heights cuts this deficit down to 2. And let's see, do they go for the 2-point conversion? It's actually looking like they won't. And they're just going to send out the PAT unit. To only cut it down to a 1-point deficit and not tie it up just yet. Of course, there's a lot of game to go. And you want to trust in your defense if they want to keep going for those 2-point conversions. Here's the hold by Quinn Malone. The kick is up, and the kick is good through the uprights. And so Shaker Heights in a close battle with Cleveland Heights. It's 8-7. The Tigers, however, do lead. We'll be right back. Vaughn Ullo on the call. This game is close, and it is 8-7. The Tigers still leading. They went for a 2-point conversion while Shaker kept it at a PAT. And so with 9:51 left to go in this second quarter, Shaker is going to kick this one away for the Cleveland Heights offense to come back out. However, that last kickoff from Shaker Heights turned into a big return of about 60 yards from Cleveland Heights, and we'll see if that happens once again. Andrew Mullen stands back at the 34. He runs up about 6 yards and kicks it away from the 40. It'll take a bounce, be taken in at about the 5, and now can Shaker's special teams lock up this time? Indeed they can, limiting this return to about the 22-yard line. So now the sun really coming out from behind the clouds now. Not sure why. The stadium lights are on. There's absolutely zero need for them. But yet they shine on down. And we'll see the sun will start to go down in a couple hours. But this game should be over by the time the sun is truly out of sight. But right now, Wilson in the backfield met with Marquise Davis, and he's going to get the handoff once again. And this is going to be a pickup of about 5. Once again, actually, yes, that's about 5. And so make it a second down and 5 more to go.
5-yard gain, second down and 5, Tigers.
9:20 left to go in this second quarter of action. And now here's a run to the near side. Still along that O-line. He's going to be taken down short. That run was not to Marquise Davis. And now are they actually going to mark that he moved it forward? And yes, they will. First down and 10. Sounds a little bit generous, but the referees give it. The run that time was to number 0, Elijah Harris, the freshman running back. Right now in there in lieu of Davis. And now here's a pass to the near side. And eventually they will take him down with authority. 2 men are going to be the guys to pancake him down to the turf. Jones was on the completion. And now we got Marquise Davis, the 6'4" star running back, making his way back out. That's a big running back as well.
5-yard gain on the play, second down and 5, Heights.
At 6'4", That's typically not the height of your average running back. Of course, not in high school. And now here's another run. They're looking at Marquise Davis. The coach is wanting a hold, but instead Marquise Davis looks like he's going to get a pickup to about the 40-yard line. We'll see where they officially place it. And they're going to mark it a couple of yards short of that as he stepped out of bounds. Ball will be at the 44. Wilson, the quarterback here today, with the freshman running back. Here's another man in motion, moving to the near side, but now they go back to the far side. But regardless, the handoff up the middle will not work as the freshman running back, Harris, is once again taken down. This time it'll be a gain of about half a yard, maybe. But that's if you're feeling generous. They're going to call it a 2nd down and 10 for the Heights offense. Shaker's defense holding the running game pretty well. And Marquise Davis still on the sideline, probably holding him back for the time being because, again, you don't want him getting injured on his final game before you go to the big SEC program of Kentucky. Here's a false start. Cleveland Heights is going to move back about 5 yards, and that's indeed the case. And so make it a 2nd down, 15 to go. That'll help the Shaker defense lock up on the run even more when you got just a longer distance to go if you're Elijah Harris. And here's a fake of the give. That pass way over the head. And they call that a pass interference. Terrible call. If that's indeed the case, then that will be the case. And that is a bad call, considering that was far overthrown and out of reach of the receiver. But they call it a pass interference, and that's unbelievable. And now it looks like we're getting another penalty on Shaker once more. It's going to be a taunting, it seems, which I don't know why you're taunting on a pass interference call. But yet that's the case, and so moving forward, why not a little bit more? Tack that on to the brutal penalty. And it might actually be called on the head coach, Alex Nicholson. And he looks frustrated as well. And so that's about 30 yards. Of free pickup. And now Marquise Davis is back out there. Excuse the camera. Here's the run up the middle. Marquise Davis sheds one tackle, tries to move forward through another. Regardless, he's going to pick up a 1st down, and it's going to be a 1st and goal. From, let's see where they spot this. It'll be inside the 10, but out from the 5. It'll be at about the 7 or 8. It's really at that mid spot. Less than 7 minutes to go. Shaker down by 1. And here's another handoff. Marquise Davis works his way in with nothing but pure strength. Makes his way in for a touchdown. And they extend their lead back to 7. Or excuse me. Yes, that's the case. 14-7 now. The score, and let's see, do they try to go for another 2-point conversion? It looks like they keep the offense out there once more. However, Davis coming off, they put Elijah Harris into the backfield. Let's see what they do here. Could be play action. Wilson looks to the near side, but it's going to be a false start on Cleveland Heights, so that pushes them back 5 yards. And now that's a much less manageable 2-point conversion try, but they keep with it. They have kickers on the roster, but they just don't decide to go with him. Poor Harrison Williams, the freshman. I guess they're not trusting in their freshman much at all, except for this Elijah Harris that's standing in the backfield. And let's see what happens here. 2-point conversion try, and now here's a flag on Cleveland Heights once again. It's a delay of game on the offense of Cleveland Heights, and so they still stick with it. Forget that kicker. That poor freshman will not get that chance. And now this is going to be a 2-point conversion try from past the 15. This one's thrown up, and this time it will be incomplete. So the score will remain at 14-7. The Tigers are leading the Battle of Lee Road. But right now, if Shaker can put together a long drive and a touchdown, they could still take a tied ball game into halftime. We'll see. We'll be right back as the kickoff teams get set. And here's the kickoff, sent up and right into the arms of the return man, who's blown up just past the 25. The man on the return was number 23, Isaac Fidel. But yeah, it's not too much of a return from the junior. Williams was the man on the hard hit. 6:35 left to go here in this second quarter and first half. The Tigers leading it by a touchdown and PAT after they went for 2-point conversion on the first touchdown, and they missed it on the second just moments ago. And now Shaker's offense with the opportunity to tie this game up with a touchdown. We'll see if they can do just that. Jasir Edie stands back at the 20-yard line. He'll take the snap, and he wants to run it at first, but now he'll throw it in the direction of Cameron Jackson on the near sideline. But it'll be out of bounds, and there's also a penalty marker down on the field. And it looks like it could be roughing the passer, per initial indications. And indeed, it is roughing the passer. So that'll help out Shaker's offense, give them a boost of about 15 yards, assuming the referees do their job just correctly. And I guess that's what they're paid to do, right? We trust them. 6.5 left to go in this second quarter. Good game so far. And again, it's supposed to be one-sided in the direction of Heights, but rivalry games are always unpredictable. And because of that, Shaker Heights is playing a competitive football game. The snap is bobbled. Jasir Edie evades one tackle, and now he's just trying to keep forward. He's got a gain of a couple. And we'll see where they officially spot this. That'll be a tough spot to mark. But it was a gain of a couple, and it'll be 3 yards on the pickup. 2nd down and 7 to come.
3-yard gain on the run. 2nd and 7.
Shaker Heights with a touchdown and PAT can already beat their average of points per game. They've got an average of 13.9 points per game, which really in high school football is not going to get you too many wins. But right now, they can just do better than their typical average. And again, in a rivalry game, in your final Week 10 game, your seniors are going to give it their all. And let's see what happens here. And here's a senior, Cornell Beard, taken down quickly. right behind the backfield. It might be a loss of 1, or maybe really only half a yard. So it'll be a 3rd down and about 7, 8.
3rd down and 7, Shaker.
They call it 3rd and 7. Shaker down by 7. Trying to keep the chains moving. We'll see what they decide to do here. Do they trust Jasir Eady to pass it? Because his passing game hasn't been too poor. He had that big gain earlier. And his receivers have been doing a good job of getting open. And they will trust him on the pass. He flips this one up over the head of Cornell Beard, who tripped up on the turf. And that one was almost picked off. But Jasir Eady pressured quickly by Simon Williams, and because of that, we're going to see the Shaker Heights punt team once again back in their own half of midfield. The punter, Lucas White, a junior, stands back at the 29. You know, the interesting piece about this game is Shaker's marching band not out here. So they have wrapped up, and here's a trick play. Lucas White will run it, but he'll be taken down short by about 4 yards. They tried it. And if it had worked, that would have been great. But unfortunately, again, it's going to be a turnover on downs. And great starting field position for Cleveland Heights once again. But their offense really has not been moving it too well. And we'll see if that stays true. Ball spotted at the 46. Marquise Davis in the backfield, and of course he's going to get the handoff. A gain of about 4, but it looks like there is going to be a penalty marker down to the field. What'll it be? Showing holding, it's going to be on Heights. And so that'll push him back 10. Make it a 1st down and 20. Redo the down. Marquise Davis, he really doesn't need much of that holding to make him a successful running back. Again, a 4-star senior, sitting at 6 foot 210. And right now, Cleveland Heights has 65 yards of penalties. Now after those 10 added on. And here, fake to Marquise Davis. The pass over the head of the intended target. And so make it a 2nd down and 20 to go. The Shaker Heights section, not too packed of students. Again, it's a Saturday at 3, which no one was really anticipating. So it's mainly parents over there, but still we're getting that Shaker Heights support. Here's a run to the near side. He breaks free, and it's with Marquise Davis, excuse me. And does he get all the way in for the touchdown? He will. Touchdown for Cleveland Heights, and they extend their lead to 2 scores. And now, of course, the offense stays out for a 2-point conversion. Marquise Davis is off after the big touchdown. So we'll see what they decide to do here. Wilson hands this one off. This time it's to number 5 of Cleveland Heights, and he will be tackled in. The rush was by Marcellus Harris, a senior, getting a big 2 points added on. It's 22-7. Cleveland Heights leads it. We'll be right back. Vaughn Ullum on the commentary. And must have been a penalty on Shaker Heights because this kickoff is being taken from in front of the 50-yard line at the 45. And so this one's kicked up, and it'll be taken in at about the 10. He's got good blocking. And eventually will be stopped short of the 30 at about the 29-28. Shaker's offense could really use a touchdown now. You don't want this game to get out of hand on the final drive of the half. If you want to stay in this football game, you get a touchdown here and you get it now. Of course, you will get the football to start half number 2. So if you get a touchdown here, you could get a touchdown, and then this game is tied in a matter of minutes on the game clock. Jasir Edie in the backfield. He fakes the give. He's going to keep it himself. Jasir Edie moves it forward, and it's another holding on Shaker. Jasir Edie motions forward, but my goodness, it's another holding on this Shaker offensive line. My goodness.
Indication, holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty.
It's another 10-yard penalty and the repeat of the first down. But my goodness, how many times has that happened this season where Shaker's had a big gain like that, and it just gets called back because of a unfortunate holding penalty that really didn't account for too much of the play. So now here we are, first down, 20 yards to go. Really feels like you got to throw it now, but first play is going to be a run up the middle that just about goes nowhere. Shaker Heights now with 75 yards of penalties so far. Cleveland Heights, I believe, had 65. So in total, I mean, holy cow, 140 yards of penalties? It's ridiculous. Three minutes, 9 seconds to go, and we have an injury timeout on the field. We step aside. Thank you very much for tuning in. Shaker down by 15. Shakers offense back out to the field. It's going to be a 2nd down and a long way to go. Just about 10, 20 yards to go. High snap. But what happened here? Must have been a substitution being made for Shaker. Coming onto the field now is Berglund, Andy Berglund, or coming in as a receiver on that far side. Now just Sear Edie hands this one off to Cornell Beard. He's got one man to beat. He's got the 1st down and plenty more up to about midfield. And that's a big play once again by number 15 here on his final game as a senior. He is making it count with another big play. And it's looking like they, with 2:30 left to go, are going to stick with Beard, but this time it's blown up. He's trying to evade multiple tackles, but the offensive line really did not do their part on the play. And so that's going to be a loss of plenty. They say this was a loss of 10. My goodness. And now Cornell Beard is going to be taken off. And now the clock will continue to roll. Less than 2 minutes to go. The score 22-7. Tigers leading. Edie, high snap. Under pressure is the receiver. How is that not pass interference? All over Cameron Jackson were the defensive backs. But they don't call it once again. That's remarkable. No call. 3rd down, about 20 yards to go. Edie, J10 in the backfield by himself. You send all receivers out wide. Edie, high snap. He's going to run it himself on the 3rd down and long. He gets more than 10, almost 15, but again, it's going to be a 4th and about 6. So will Shaker go for it here, or will they punt it? Well, we're going to have to wait to find out. Cleveland Heights is going to take a timeout, and so we step aside. 92 seconds left to go. Cleveland Heights excuse us on the timeout. And so we step aside. Thank you very much for tuning in. Fourth down, about 6 yards to go. Shaker's offense going to go for it. Out of the timeout of Cleveland Heights. And they're going to pass it. Jasir Edie in the backfield. He's pressured quickly. He runs to the near side. He's got some room to run. Instead, he'll throw it into an interception. Which is actually better than it falling incomplete if you think about it. And it was an easy pick by number 3, Laren Anderson, another senior on his senior night, making a big play. And so 78 seconds left to go in half number 1. And the Tigers with another opportunity to extend their lead further. Ball would have been spotted. back past the 40, but now the ball is going to be spotted at the 27. Davis once again in the backfield. You know he gets the handoff. And once again, he'll get a gain of about 4 or 5. They call it 4. Second down, 6 yards to go. The clock will roll. No, Heights takes a timeout. We step aside once again. The Cleveland Heights marching band getting set for their halftime show. And with 64 seconds remaining, Shaker is down by 15. We'll be right back. Shaker Heights with 2 more timeouts. Cleveland Heights with 1 more timeout here in this first half. And let's see what Cleveland Heights can do in the final minute 04 to try and extend this lead. Faking the give. Now here's a pass to the tight end. And a big man running with a bunch of green grass in front of him. He makes his way into the end zone. And Landon Pohl, a 6'5", 230-pound tight end, on his senior day gets a huge touchdown and extends this lead further. It's now 28-7. And let's see what they can do on a 2-point conversion. If they get this 2-point conversion, then 1 more Heights touchdown would actually mean running clock. And that's surprising because this game felt close for a long time, but quickly it's gotten out of hand and one-sided towards the home team. We'll see if they pick up the 2-point conversion first. 28-7. They're looking to make it 30-7. See if they can do it. Shaker Heights' defense looking to stop them short and keep it a 21-point game. Now we're getting a late substitution for Shaker. Head coach Alex Nicholson now talking to 2 referees. As you can see there at the 20-yard line. Nicholson arguing his case about something. Clearly frustrated, as we see. And he told me you can tell he is frustrated when he goes up to the referees with his hands behind his back. That's how you know that he's a frustrated man. Told me that himself. And finally, with the 3 referees, we'll see what the matter in hand was. But regardless, still 28-7. Heights going for a 2-point conversion. Actually, a backup quarterback in there as well. Ball in the hand of Justin Godbolt. Godbolt with Harris in the backfield. And Godbolt is going to throw it here. And it is incomplete. Good coverage.
With 53 seconds remaining
And 53 seconds remain. The Tigers leading it by 21. We'll step aside as the kickoff units get set. My name is Vaughn Ullum on the commentary. Williams set to kick this one away. This time it'll once again be from the 40. And there it goes into the chill air of a Saturday evening. And here's a good run up past the 45. They'll mark it down at about the 46, 45, just about between. Isaac Fidel was the man on the return. It's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders, and let's see if they can get something going before halftime. Because now it's time that you start calling this game a comeback situation for Shaker. Right now they're down by 3 touchdowns, 3 PATs, and with 45 seconds left to go, we'll see how aggressive head coach Alex Nicholson and his staff decide to play this one. Jasir Eady stands nearest to the near hash mark. Now he'll drop back. Under pressure, he's going to throw it. He finds his man Cameron Jackson, and it's dropped by the senior. Would have had the first down had he caught it. But unfortunately for him, it'll hit the turf and make it a 2nd down and 10. Eady stands at the 40. Ball is spotted at the 46. Beard to the near side in the backfield. Now Eady's got a lot of room to run, and he's going to take off with it and slide down to the turf. We're going to get a flag after a late hit on the quarterback. So that should move him 15 yards further with only 15 seconds coming off the clock on this drive. And we got the official ruling. The referee moves it up from the 35, or I guess the 36, over to the 21. Just outside of the red zone. Shaker's offense with an opportunity to shorten this Cleveland Heights leading deficit. They're down by 21. Let's see what they do here. Eady takes the snap. He drops back to about the 30-yard line. He's going to the air. He's completely held up, and the referee sees it, even though he's signaling that it's incomplete. Yeah, he was held up completely. Cameron Jackson with words exchanged to the defensive back as well as he makes his way back to the huddle. Number 9 with a little bit of attitude behind him. And, of course, the penalty on the defense. And that'll move Shaker forward a little bit more. Keep in mind, Shaker will get the reception of the kickoff out of the halftime. Ball currently spotted at the 11. Jasir Eady keeps it. He's looking to go to the air, but it's down to the turf. Excuse the camera once again. Of course, this press box just not the most ideal space for our setup. So we're just making do with what we got. The Cleveland Heights Marching Band getting set for their halftime show. It's going to be a second down. Ball at the 11. Edie, high snap. He recovers. He's looking to go to the air. He pump fakes the first one. Now he runs off to the near side. He's going to take off himself. Jukes one man. Is he in or did he step out? The referee says he steps out at the 1.
Quarterback keeper on the play, number 10, Jasir Edie.
So Jasir Edie, just shy of the goal line. 4 seconds to go. And Shaker Heights decides to take a timeout and get set for what should be the final play of half number 1. One of the best options here might just be to hand it off to Cornell Beard. Give himself a touchdown, the senior on his final game. And we'll see if that's what they decide to do. Shaker down by 21, trying to make it 14. And you can see them on the right side of your screen talking things over with head coach Alex Nicholson in the huddle. And now Shaker Heights going to come out of the huddle. They make their way to the 1-yard line. 4 seconds up on the clock. Can Shaker get the touchdown to shorten this deficit going into the half? And a high snap, and that should do it. And the ball's still free, and Harris has green grass in front of him. The play's still going. And now he'll evade the last guy, Jasir Edie, and he makes his way in for the touchdown from the 1-yard line, 99 yards to the other end zone. And it's a touchdown for Cleveland Heights. At least that's initially what we're led to believe. The referee's talking things over at the 40-yard line. But my goodness, now they rule this a touchdown. Unbelievable. On the scoop and score was Elijah Harris, the freshman wearing number 0. And so now it's 268 yards of total rushing. And now we'll see what they do here. Godbolt in the backfield. He's the quarterback on this play. Number 5, Harris, in the backfield as well. Here's going to be a throw for the 2-point conversion, and it's up, and it's caught, but it's out of bounds. And that takes us to the end of the first half. Shaker Heights down by 27 after that shocking scoop and score. And now we step aside. We'll mute ourselves for the halftime as we're up here in the press box. Thank you very much for tuning in. Von Ullum on the call. 34-7, Cleveland Heights leading it here in Week 10, the final game. And, of course, it's the Battle of Lee Road. We'll be right back for the call of half number 2. Hello, Shaker Heights varsity football fans, and welcome back into the press box. My name is Vaughn Ullum on the call for what is going to be my final half of football on the call. Thank you very much for tuning in. But right now, what we've got for you, Shaker Heights losing this one 34-7, and it was, in that first quarter, a really close game, and it honestly was for the longest time. It was 14-7. It was actually a 1.8-7, but now, again, that's 26 straight unanswered points by this home crowd, and they are looking to capitalize and just take home the Battle of Lee Road once again. And if that is the case, these seniors, including myself, we have not seen Shaker Heights defeat Cleveland Heights at all through any of those four contests. Of course, it's week 10 of every regular season that these two squads meet, and Shaker Heights still is not able to get the victory, but we'll see. It would be a great comeback if Shaker can get it done, but right now it's looking pretty one-sided. Thank you very much for tuning in. We send you down. And here's the kickoff from the 40-yard line, taken in front of the 20, fumbled at first. Now it'll be taken in just past the 25. And so Shaker's offense will come out first. If Shaker can score, running clock will be avoided for the time being. Right after this game, by the way, for anyone tuning into this one, we're going to be out in Parma. We're coming right from this game out to Parma, and we're going to go call a men's soccer game against Solon. So stay tuned into the Shaker Heights Athletics YouTube, because we're all over Northeast Ohio covering these games, whether it be American football or European football, or still a little bit of everywhere. Here's the run. It's going to go to Cornell Beard to the near side, and I believe he should pick up that first down, and indeed the case, move those chains. So Cornell Beard back, as we mentioned, he's back on offense, back in the backfield. He dressed for this game, though we thought he might not even return just due to his injury. And here he is, final game. He's coming out. He's playing, and once again, he's playing pretty well. Here's another run to Beard. Goes up the middle, and this time he'll get a pickup of about 5, maybe 6, if he's lucky. Shaker Heights on the run in that first half, 23 runs, 155 yards, and so that's 6.7 yards per carry. Cleveland Heights, on the other hand, 169 yards on 18 rushes. That's 9.4 yards per carry. And through the air, Shaker was only 2 for 11. We'll see if they can make it 3 for 12. Here's the first throw of the half, and indeed they will to Cameron Jackson, and he breaks free of the defensive backs, and he is down the far side. Touchdown, Shaker, as the senior Cameron Jackson will shorten this deficit, and Jasir Eady with a run-up and celebration to his receiver. And suddenly, Shaker Heights, number 14. So Shaker Heights still down by 20, but the deficit goes down just a little bit more. And so we'll see how Cleveland Heights' offense will respond. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. We'll be right back. Shaker Heights through the air was 2 for 11 in the first half for 40 yards. After that one, now they're 3 for 12, and that big touchdown pass to Cameron Jackson, a senior. And so Shaker's offense needs to continue moving the ball like that. They actually did have more first downs compared to Cleveland Heights in that first half, 7 to 5 in that statistic. This kickoff taken in and around the 10, and now it looks like we're going to get a flag down as well, back around the 20. The return was only up to around the 25. We'll see where they officially place it. Looks like it might be at the 24. We'll see. But regardless, it's going to be a holding on the Tigers. So we'll see where that puts them. 10:47 left to go in quarter number 3. And now Cleveland Heights once again goes to the ground game. And why not if you got a running back that can just power through your defensive line? Once again, there's a flag thrown after the play. Penalties in that first half, 75 yards for Shaker Heights. Cleveland Heights had 95 on 7 penalties. And it's going to be a personal foul on the offense, so that'll back them up after the run. So now that's over 100 yards of penalties, make it about 110 in penalties. And so it was a 2nd and 4, but now they're calling this a 2nd, and I'm not sure where the yardage is on this penalty, but they're making it a 2nd down and 12. Wilson, starting quarterback in the backfield. He hands this one off, and once again it'll be another solid run by Heights, but it'll be limited, much as it can be. It's going to be a 3rd down.
Rush on the play, number 1, Marquise Davis.
Marquise Davis was on the run. Now it looks like there's a hurt man on the Heights side. That's number 87, Paul, who had that big touchdown earlier in the game. That big tight end, standing 6'5". Now he makes his way off. See, he limps his way. It's going to be a 3rd down and about 7-8 yards to go. Wilson to the air. He finds his man, number 6, and he's taken down short of the line again. So we'll see what they decide to do. Do they punt it? It's not looking like they will. And now they will eventually. The offense was standing out there staring blankly at the coaches. We'll see what happens here. Shaker Heights. Return men backed up to about the 40. Still awaiting a punt. We're not sure what's happening. Heights trying to get an extra man on as well. And so they're going to take a timeout before things get ugly, before the snap would just take too long to get off. And so on the timeout, we step aside. Thank you very much for joining Vaughn Ullum calling his last half of Shaker Heights football. We'll be right back. And we're back to it out of the timeout. The Heights punt man, Marquise Davis, Most dynamic player you're going to see in high school ball. He's really their everything, Marquise Davis. And he punted that one away to Shaker's fair catch around the 47. Now, Marquise Davis, during that halftime, had his jersey number retired. And, well, if you saw his stats from the last week, that'll tell you the story as to why. 8 touchdowns. They won it with 70 points. So that's 2 touchdowns that weren't Marquise Davis, but 8 of them were all him for 465 yards he had on offense. And that's just remarkable. I mean, that just doesn't happen. Here's a run. Cornell Beard going off to the far side. He evades multiple tackles. He's off to the races. He's got one man to beat down the sideline. And he is in. Once again, Cornell Beard is making it happen on the ground. And suddenly this game's feeling more competitive as Cornell Beard is making it all about him right now. And we'll see if they can throw this up on the PAT and make it a 13-point deficit. Entered into the half at a 34-7 deficit. Now it's 34-20. More than likely about to be 21. And here it is. It is up, and it is through the uprights. Suddenly, it's not so much of a comeback that it was. We were only a score away from running clock, and now it's 13 points separating the Tigers and the Red Raiders. We'll step aside. We'll be right back. Vaughn Ullum on the call. Eight minutes, 25 seconds left to go in the third quarter. This one's kicked away and taken in at about the 15. And Heights already starting a big return. Andrew Mullen, the last guy to get him, and he'll be taken out at about midfield. We'll see where they mark him, but regardless, once again, great starting field position for the Heights Tigers. Now the Raiders and Tigers playing a bit scrappy now after the play.
Nice return on the play, number 15.
Javier Kerr, the man on the return.
First and 10.
It's going to be a 1st and 10 for Heights with 8:16 to go in the third quarter. Not exactly sure what's going over on the Shaker side. They're celebrating like crazy. But we'll see what Heights has to say about these 2 unanswered scores entering into the half. Here's Marquise Davis on the run. And he'll be taken down with a limited gain of about 2 or 3.
Second down and 7, Heights.
Second down, 7 yards to go for the Tigers. Wilson looking to the near side, getting an indication of what to do next. Marquise Davis will get the handoff, of course. trying to move his O-line forward, but once again, it'll be a pretty limited gain of about only a couple, maybe 3, and so it'll bring up a 3rd down and 4, maybe 3. They call it a 3rd and 3. Nope, 3rd and 4.
3rd down and 4, Tigers.
7 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Here's the snap. Once again, the give to Davis. Davis not stopped short. He's going to power his way forward for a 1st down. New set of downs, 1st and 10 coming up. Great work by Marquise Davis. And Cleveland Heights still yet to turn the ball over, while Shaker Heights has done that 3 times in the 1st half.
That last rush, good enough to move the chain.
And so,
Tigers.
once again, Cleveland Heights with great ball security from Marquise Davis. That's why he's going to play SEC ball. He had offers from other football schools, including Ohio State, Notre Dame, who just had a big win against a ranked opponent of Navy. Miami, one of the top schools in the nation currently. Here is a run to the near side. It's Harris, and he's taken down out of bounds. Another solid gain for the Tigers, and we move those chains.
1st down.
But yeah, you got Big Ten schools like Ohio State, Penn State, both offering Marquise Davis. Michigan offered Davis. And then you got some of the best in the nation like Notre Dame, and you got Miami, who's right now doing very well. Playing Florida State soon, which at the beginning of the season, would have thought that would have been a great big game between 2 very competitive squads, but the Seminoles right now 1-6, so that didn't get as much marketing as they probably would have hoped.
Number 0,
Harris on the run once again.
4-yard gain on the play.
There's a
2nd down and
4-yard
6.
gain, 2nd down, 6 yards to go for the Heights offense. 13 points separate these 2 squads. The Tigers up 34-21. It was 34-7 at halftime. And we'll see if Heights can finally respond on offense here in the 2nd half. We're about to find out. Here's Wilson. Gives it off to the running back once again. It's Davis. Taken down just short of the 5. Or they mark him at the 5. Why not? With the way he's running, he'll get there anyway. And the ball spotted at the 5. 1st and goal. Let's see if Shaker's defense can finally take this Cleveland offense for a difficult time. Now there's a penalty on Shaker's defense. That's not how you do it.
Penalty marker on the play.
So that'll be a half the distance to the goal line penalty. They move to about the 2.5, maybe 3-yard line is where they call it.
Encroachment on the defense.
There's encroachment, offsides, whatever you want to call it. Here's Marquise Davis taken down before getting back to where he wanted to be. And now a flag flies once more.
Penalty on the play.
These referees have been throwing these flags like it's nobody's business. The referees getting flag happy. And once again, looks like it'll be one on Shaker.
Penalty on the defense, half the distance to the goal.
It's a 2nd down and about a yard to go. The clock will continue to roll. 5 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. You can assume they're just going to give this one off to Marquise. And there it is. Do they blow it up before he gets there? Looks like they will. And again, there's a flag. Holy.
On the play, number 1, Marquise Davis, penalty marker on the field.
And you can hear it here in the press box. These Shaker Heights coaches sick of these penalties. And understandably so. The referees huddled up because, my goodness. And the clock stops once again. And it was a personal foul on both sides, and they call them offsetting. Even though they believe that Marquise Davis had kicked him in while he's down. But they rule offsetting penalties. And so we're just going to repeat for our second down play. And here's the run. This time Marquise Davis finds the hole. Touchdown for the Tigers. And they extend their lead back to now 19, set to be 21 if they can make a 2-point conversion. They make it 42. Somehow they would still have Cleveland Heights doubled up. Marquise Davis jogging his way back. .431 left to go. My goodness, this game has taken a while. Now head coach Nicholson talking things over with the referee. Not sure what the conversation does entail. And now here's the 2-point conversion try. Run to the left side. And he will make his way in. What does the referee signal? Looks like they stopped him short.
2-point conversion attempt.
40-21. Just short by the running back number 5, Marcellus Harris.
Current score, Raiders 21.
And so now it's 40-21, and we're going to get set for the kickoff. We'll step aside. We'll be right back. Vaughn Ullum on the call. Still a 4-score game. Or excuse me, I guess 3-score game between these two squads. However, Heights really dominant right now. This game has now reached the 2-hour, 13-minute mark. And we're still yet to see the fourth quarter. 4.5 left to go in the third. This kickoff will be taken in just in front of the 25. Good return, short of the 40.
Number 39, Harrison Williams with the kick.
The man on the return was number 23, Isaac Fidel. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. And they're down by 19. Let's see what they can do here. Jasir Edie back out. He stands up against the near side hash mark. Cornell Beard stands on the near side hash mark.
Penalty marker on the field.
And my goodness, there's a flag. Because when is there not? Looks like Cleveland Heights had too many men out on the field. And that'll move Shaker up 5. First down and 5 coming up. Jasir Edie takes the snap. He's going to give this one off to Cornell Beard. He fumbles the football. But it looks like he got it back. To make it a second down and about 12 yards to go. And hey, why not another penalty out onto the field? It's looking like it'll be a personal foul. Face mask on Cleveland Heights.
Personal foul on the play. First face mask on the defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
It's 20 seconds of game clock. We're still in the third and I fucking got it. The clock will roll. 4:15 left to go in the third quarter. And we still got 12 more minutes. And many more penalties. Here's a run to the near side. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, 16 in total.
Rush on the play, number 15,
Cornell Beard running to the near side, brought him about 2 yards on the carry.
Sinatra Williams.
Second down and 8.
2-yard gain on the play, second down and 8. Raiders.
Will they throw it once again? When Jasir Edie's passes have been caught, they've been for solid yardage. We saw that touchdown for Cameron Jackson early in this half, but here's Jasir Edie on the quarterback keep. He's going down the near sideline. Great blocking, and he keeps down the sideline for the touchdown, and Jasir Edie waves his arms in celebration. As he should, the junior QB makes this game a 13-point game once again. Is there a flag? Doesn't look like it. Somehow a play without a penalty. And so a big touchdown on the quarterback keep. Jasir Edie using his legs efficiently. And now Shaker getting set to tack on PAT number 4 on touchdown number 4. And here's the kick. It is up, and it is indeed through the upright. So 40-28, Shaker is down. And we'll be right back as the kickoff units come right back out. Shaker is not being stopped on offense right now, but if they get some stops on defense, Shaker could be in good shape. We'll be right back. Andrew Mullen back out for the kickoff. And there it goes. Ooh, tricky little kickoff. It'll take a roll. Now it'll be a fumble behind the 10-yard line. And let's see where they finally bring him down. It'll be behind the 20-yard line. Now the Shaker defense and the Heights offense will make their way out. 3:08 remaining in the third quarter.
Return on the kick, number 0, Elijah Harris. First and 10, Tigers. injury timeout on the field.
But there's an injury timeout out on the field. Shaker man is down, so we'll step aside. We'll be right back. Brian Mitchell was the man down. He makes his way to the sideline. If anyone also thinking of tuning into the game out in Parma tonight, we're expecting that broadcast will be postponed by whenever we can get there. Of course, here we are out in Cleveland Heights. We have to get out to Parma. Here's a carry to the near side. Going to be stopped short. Gain of about 4. But yeah, if you were thinking of tuning into that game, that broadcast more than likely not going to get started until later, because this game is lasting a long while. The clock rolling for the time being. 2:30 remain in the third quarter. Wilson, the quarterback. We got a man in motion. But Marquise Davis, of course, will get the give once again. And he'll be taken down short of the line again by about 3 yards. And is another Shaker player down? Not enough for an injury timeout. He's back up. 2:10 remaining in the quarter. Marquise Davis should be getting it on a 2-yard pickup, and he indeed will for the first down.
Rush on the play. Number 1, Marquise Davis. First down, Heights.
And so now 100 seconds remain in the third quarter. Injury timeout for Shaker once again.
Injury timeout on the
We'll
field.
be right back. We'll let you know who the injured man is when we come back. Isaac Smith was the man down. He is helped off. We got 100 seconds left to go here in quarter number 3. And Wilson looking for the pass right in his face, but he'll somehow get the pass off, and it'll somehow be complete down the sideline.
Complete on the play.
And my goodness, that was a good throw by Wilson, just fitting it into a tight slot.
Sir Gibson.
And the ball will be spotted to the 49.
First down.
Down the sideline, the clock stops at 1:24. And now here's another run. They give it to Marquise Davis to the near side. He'll be stopped.
Rush on the play, number 1, Marquise Davis.
And they say Trey McNutt was the first man there. Trey McNutt, 5-star safety, trying to get a couple of these last big plays in. Of course, we haven't seen him on the wide receiving end here tonight. He's just acting as a safety, coming back off that injury that might just be the best option. And now Cleveland Heights only has to run one more play. We'll see if they call more. Of course, they send a man in motion. And now here's the pass, and it'll be incomplete. The clock stops at 35 seconds. Not sure why they don't just keep on running it, because their running has worked so well. They did just have that completion moments ago, but you got Marquise Davis. "35 seconds left to go in the third quarter." Marquise Davis comes out. Harris comes in on a third down at about 8-9 yards to go. And here's the snap. Gonna pass it over to Harris on the left side. He's got good blocking, and he'll make his way past the first down marker. Clock stops at 26 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Shaker Heights down by 12, trying to keep it that way until their offense comes out. The clock will continue to roll, and now there's a flag. So the clock will stop. We're awaiting conversation between the referees to determine whatever this flag might be.
Now just pick up the fist on the offset and both teams are talking trash. It's a rivalry game. They want to talk.
We'll see what they call. Personal foul called on Heights, and that's all. That'll push him back 15. So move the ball spot back. It'll still be a first down for Davis and the Tigers. Ball now back to the 48. They're moving the chains. What?
The chains definitely should move. It should be like first and 25.
It's supposed to be a first down at about 25, but they're moving the sticks to make it a first and 10 from just further back, which is not what should be happening. And the referees call this one a third quarter. And so, yeah, they have to figure out the spot of the ball and the spot of the sticks. So while they figure that out, we want to take a moment and we would like to honor and remember and talk about the passing of Jim Donovan, the play-by-play radio commentator for the Cleveland Browns. I had the honor of meeting him just this past March, working with him. I contacted him. He's worked on my broadcasts as well. He has watched them, given me feedback. He's helped me grow, and I'm sure he's done that for so many more students. And he has been such an inspiration to me and my work. And so I just really would love to give a shout out to Jim Donovan, who unfortunately did pass today through his fight with cancer, but he has just done incredible work. He's a great human being. And so we would just like to remember, from all of Shaker Heights Athletics, remember Jim Donovan. Thank you very much. With that, we're going to have 12 more minutes left in the football game. And Heights is going to run it with Marquise Davis along the near side hash mark. They're calling it a 1st and 10 because it was a dead ball foul.
Three-yard gain on the rush. Second down, 7.
3-yard pickup. Second down, 7 yards to go. 11:30 left to go in the game. Shaker down by 12. If they get a couple stops on defense, they're still in this football game. Marquise Davis sends one man down to the turf, and now Marquise Davis is taken down. Very short gain, and now they call a penalty once more. This time, it was because Shaker's number 45, Romero Carter, a senior, kicked him while he was down. At least that's what the referee is dictating. I wonder, truly, during this game, what has been the longest period of time between penalties of game clock? Because it hasn't been long. There have just been too many penalties on each side. It's not a one-sided affair. It's not like the Cleveland Browns where you get 20 in a minute. It has been both sides doing this unfortunate stuff, making the clock stop at every single turn.
Every 3 plays we get a penalty.
It's felt like every other penalty, or every other play has had a penalty. Harris in the backfield. Marquise Davis is currently out. And here, Harris is going to get the give. And he's going to be taken down after forward progress.
Rush on the play, number 0, Elijah Harris.
Heights head coach really amped up.
Gain on the rush. Second down.
Less than 11 minutes to go. Davis back out there into the backfield. Will he get the give? Naturally. Pushes forward through the O-line.
Rush on the play, number 1. Marquise
Heights
Davis.
just trying to run time off the clock. And that brings us to a 3rd down and pretty decent.
3rd down and 7.
It's going to be 7 yards to go. And, of course, their kicker, they don't really trust him. So you got to go for it on 4th down no matter what. You can't kick it. And here's a run to the near side. It's Marquise Davis getting past the 20 and up to about the 17. And that'll be enough for a 1st down and a new set of downs. 9:45 remaining in the game.
That'll move the chains for Heights. 1st down.
From the near side to the far side. Man in motion. They're going to run this one off to Elijah Harris. He'll get a couple.
Rush on the play, number 0, Elijah Harris.
Again, they're just trying to run some of this clock because this game has honestly been very competitive. And it's only a 2-score game. And so right now you're just trying to kind of take some time off the clock if you can while trying to score. Wilson The starting quarterback hasn't thrown it too much, but when he hasn't been too shabby. Here's Elijah Harris on the give to the near side of the O-line. And that'll take us to a 3rd down. And very, very short. Less than a yard to go.
Third down and a short 2 to go.
Oh, they call it now 2 yards to go. It's really about 1. 1.5 maybe. Now Marquise Davis in the backfield. You know he's got the give because you know he can do things like this as he barrels his way into the end zone. And he throws up 6 to the board. The Tigers lead it now. Once again by 18. 8:24 left to go in the 4th and final quarter of the Shaker Heights football season. Here's a 2-point conversion. Try to make it a 20-point game. Here's the run to Elijah Harris. Does he find the hole? It's looking like he will. And indeed, the referee's arms go up to the air. So, 20-point game. Once again, the Tigers lead it 48-28 with 8:24 remaining in this 4th and final quarter. Thank you very much for tuning in. We step aside while the kickoff units make their way out to the field. Vaughn Ullum on the call. We'll be right back. And we're back to it. 8 minutes, 24 seconds left to go in this 4th quarter of the football game. Cleveland Heights and Shaker Heights taking part in the Battle of Lee Road, and this one taken in at about the 38-37. Andy Berglund, the man to take it in and fall right down onto the football. Only 3 seconds come off the clock, and Shaker's offense will come out to the turf. Well, no matter the case, Shaker, unless they completely give up, this is better than the last meeting here at Heights when Shaker lost to Cleveland Heights 70-6. That was back on October 1st of 2022. Yeah, that was one heck of a game that Shaker tries to forget. This one down the field, and who else but I believe that is number 8, Trey McNutt. And he is going to celebrate it like crazy because he is back on the wide receiving end. And he makes a play like that, and suddenly we're back to a 2-score game. Back and forth and back and forth. This game has been long. We're nearing the 2-hour, 40-minute mark. Lucas White getting set to take a PAT. Now, eventually, we'll get a PAT. Lucas White, the junior, the man to get it done. Quinn Malone, backup QB. My goodness. Another offside.
Penalty on the play.
Because I feel like at this point, if there isn't a penalty, every so often, the world's going to explode. Something's going on. We don't have the exact number, but the amount of penalties in this game has to be around 30 by this point in total. And here's the kick. It's up, and it is good. So we step aside. Kickoff units getting set to take the field. It's a 13-point game. The Cleveland Heights Tigers currently leading. Eight minutes, 8 seconds remain in the football game. Andrew Mullen, the man to kick it away. And this one's going to take a rolling kickoff up to about the 15. And here's good blocking, and eventually he's taken down. It looks like there might have been a fumble, but the referees are ruling that he was down before the ball popped free. Regardless, it would have been kept with Heights. 8 minutes to go. The Heights offense will return, and you already know they're going to be running it, and they're going to be running clock out of this game. And with a man like Marquise Davis in the backfield, you know you can get that done if you need to. Wilson, the starting quarterback for Cleveland Heights, in the backfield with Davis. They get Pohl, the tight end, who scored that big touchdown earlier in as well. He's to the far right side of the O-line. And here's the run to Davis. And he'll be taken down not until he gets the first down.
On the play, number 1, Marquise Davis. That last rush.
And so the clock will roll.
For Tiger. First down.
Good game to this point. Really an offensively sound game from both sides. Jasir Eady has done well. Cornell Beard has done well. And the receivers have done great at getting separation here today. We saw Cameron Jackson. We saw Trey McNutt have these great chances. Lyndon Chavis has had many opportunities where he's been open. Here's Davis on another run. He's going to be taken down short of the yard to gain, but another solid pickup of about 7. And make it a second and really 2.5. Now here they send in the running back, number 5, Marcellus Harris. Another one of those running backs that we've seen today. We've seen Marcellus Harris, we've seen Elijah Harris, and of course we've seen Marquise Davis. Here's Harris to the near side. Will he pick up the first down? It looks like he's going to be just short. Marcellus Harris, the man standing 5'9", 175. Senior's going to be short of the line to gain. 6:30 remaining in the fourth and final quarter of the Shaker season. Heights getting set for a playoff run. They're basically locked into a playoff run. And there's no way this is not a penalty. And what are they going to say? They say that Heights took the timeout. That should have been a false start every day of the week. They called the timeout after the penalty. Yeah, they called the timeout after the penalty. And yet the referees rule it in favor of the timeout, so we step aside and we'll come right back. Shaker down 48-35 in the Battle of Lee Road. Actually, Heights' offense coming right back out, so we're just going to stay on the mic. The Shaker coach is livid up here in the press box, and understandably so. That was a false start every day of the week. But they ruled it a timeout. I don't know how you rule that a timeout, but they did. 6 minutes, 14 seconds left to go in the fourth and final quarter. It's a 3rd and 1. And here's Marquise Davis. You know he's picking up that first down. It's a very short gain, but he'll get it nonetheless. And once again, some clock will roll, which is exactly what Cleveland Heights wants right now. Referees playing that call very homey. And that got to build out that drive on the 3rd and 1. It would have been a 3rd and 6. But now Heights is going to keep it on the ground with Marquise Davis. He fumbles the football. Trey McNutt scoops it up. And it's looking like Shakers definitely got possession. And this game is getting close. Trey McNutt, the man to scoop it up. And it's a first down for the Shaker Red Raider offense. And let's see if they can somehow make this a one-possession football game. This game has been everywhere. But right now, Shakers, the squad with the momentum. Even though they're down by 13, they're really seeming like they've got a chance to make something happen. Jasir Edie stands on the near hash mark. High snap. Trying to take it in was Cornell Beard, and that was just a bad decision. Heights takes it over, and it's looking like the big man's going to run it. And will he take it all the way? Oh, my goodness, a big man touchdown. Sandale Jackson, a 6'8", 340-pound defensive lineman, scoops it and scores it. And so with that, 5.5 left to go. That's the second scoop and score of the night for the Cleveland Heights squad. Bad decision by Cornell Beard to go up and try to get the football himself on the Jasir Edie bobble. In doing so, it led to the bad fumble and the scoop and score to make it a 54-35 game. And on the 2-point conversion, we'll see if Heights can make it a 21-point game. But right now we got a timeout called. We step aside as Heights is going to celebrate a little bit and try to calm down before the 2-point conversion. And here on the 2-point conversion, it's going to fall incomplete. So 5:28 left to go in the football game. We step aside as the kickoff units get set.
Conversion pass falls incomplete to the turf.
5:28 left to go in the football game. It's back to a 3-possession game. 19-point deficit. Heights currently leading, and the Shaker offense is going to be back out.
Kick return on the play, number 23. Isaac Fidel. Tackle made on the play, number 43. Sinatra Williams. First and 10, Shaker. From their own 32-yard line.
Really, I thought I was being silly when I said we wanted to make it out of here to 7. I'm sorry I put that in the air, y'all. We really might not get out of here to 7.
Shaker's offense back out, and they really haven't been stopped too much. Jasir Eady's going to go to the air on this one. He's going deep. And that time he was looking at number 23, Isaac Fidel. But it'll fall incomplete, good coverage.
Pass incomplete on the play. Coverage on the play, number 42. Simon Williams. Second and 10, Shaker.
5:15 remaining in the game. Shaker looking like they're just going to keep on passing it because you don't have time to keep running it, or else the clock is going to run with you. There, another high snap, but Jasir Eady going to take off and go into the sideline of Cleveland Heights, but there was a flag down. Because if there wasn't a penalty, it's been a while till the penalty. And now they're going to call an illegal shift on Shaker Heights.
Illegal shift on the offense.
Man, I just told them, like, this might be, like, I did a lot of games. That might be the one.
Second down, long, another fumbled snap, and Heights picks it up. No, it's still making its way back, but now he's going to be taken back into the end zone, but it's looking like they're going to call him down at the 1. The clock will keep rolling. It's a 19-point game, but it almost became 21 in the blink of an eye. 4:40 left to go in the fourth and final quarter. Yeah, they recovered it, but way back. They have to get to the 42-yard line for a first down. So it is a 3rd down and 41. Now we're getting a late substitution, it seems. Big man coming off. 4 minutes, 18 seconds. It's looking like there was an offsides on Cleveland Heights. That moves them Shaker forward 5. But it's not too much of a difference if you really think about it. 3rd down, 36 to go for a first down. Jasir Edie takes a regular snap, and he looks for his man on the slant route, Isaac Fidel, but it falls short.
Down and long, Shaker.
And so it's a fourth down and much too long, so they're going to be punting this one away.
I think both teams got to have over 100 yards in penalties. It's about 300-something yards in penalties combined.
They were at 75 and 65 at the half, I think.
It's been a longer half than the first half.
Yeah. I think that's right.
Lucas White stands back in his end zone for the punt. And the punt is away. It's a very short punt. It'll make its way into the Shaker sideline, just past the 40 it looks. Or not. Where do they spot the football? We're about to find out. Less than 4 minutes to go. Shaker down by 19. Heights with the football.
First and 10, Tigers from the Raider, 42-yard line.
And now they run it to the near side. It's Harris. And he pushes his way forward. Help from the O-line to get a first down, it seems.
Last rush on the play, number 5, Marcellus Harris.
And here's another run. So now 3 minutes remain in the Shaker Heights regular season. It's looking like Shaker will conclude with a record the same as all these seniors sophomore year. That's 3 wins, 7 losses. Victories those first 2 weeks, then victories last week against Medina. Shaker in a stunning victory, 22-21 in the final seconds. Now here's another run. Harris being taken down quickly.
Rush on the play, number 5, Marcellus Harris.
So it'll be a third down and about 7 yards to go. And head coach Alex Nicholson decides to take a timeout. We'll step aside. Shaker's going to talk things over, the same as Heights, as they come to the sideline and follow suit. 2:25 to go in the football game. 2 minutes, 25 seconds left to go in Shaker's regular season. And before getting to the backfield, he was wrapped up but not tackled. And so it's going to be another timeout taken by Shaker. Since this is their final game, they're just trying to get all the reps in, just trying to get every final second for the offense and try to walk away with a little bit of momentum before the season ends. 2:16 left to go. We step aside. Cleveland Heights throwing it on this one. They have a man open. Somehow, he was able to get his hands onto it, but it looks like there's going to be a pass interference ruled. Questionable call on the PI.
Dressed like a coach. He should be.
How many timeouts does Shaker got?
One left.
Shaker with only a timeout remaining in their back pocket. Cleveland Heights looking to finish off their season with a 6-4 record, and with runs like this, oh, it's fumbled. So Shaker will get the football. Williams was the man on the carry. Big hit, makes a big fumble. So Shaker gets the football back. They're still down 19. So it is a bit out of reach. But you never know. Shaker's offense returns to the field after that hard hit fumble.
Which number tackled him like that?
2 minutes remain in the football game. We'll see what Shaker decides to do. They're going to go to the air here. Jasir Edie evades one sack, and
Oh, that's intentional grounding.
now it's knocked down to the
No,
turf.
not even a receiver there.
And it's looking like that could be intentional grounding, which would keep the clock rolling on a sack.
Penalty marker on the play.
Hey, man, you alert. It's 6:30?
6:32.
I'm trying to start the clock, but I gotta do the time right there.
And now here's high snap. Jasir Edie gonna sling it downfield. He's looking for Trey McNutt. Or excuse me, Cameron Jackson, who was able to get the reception.
Pass complete on the play.
Cameron Jackson picks up
Next with number 9, Cameron
a
Jackson.
solid pickup. 106 seconds remain in the game. And now we'll see what happens next. Edie under pressure. He throws this one up. It's caught. This time by Kevin Lowry. He cuts inside. He's got 2 men to beat, and he's taken down to the turf. So the clock will roll eventually. For the moment, it stops until the ball gets set.
Once more for Shaker, first down.
After a Shaker touchdown, Heights would get the ball back and basically just run this one out. But Shaker looking for one final score. High snap. Edie back with it. He's going through the air, and it'll fall incomplete. He was looking to Kevin Lowry. 80 seconds remain.
Ball's incomplete to the turf. Second down, 10, Shaker.
1 minute, 20 seconds. Shaker down by 19. Looking for a final score to head home with just a little bit of a thumbs up. Here, Edie takes the snap. He'll drop back into the pocket. He'll look for the slant route. Kevin Lowry, and it's out of his reach. Third down, 10 yards to go.
Shaker.
Edie heads over to the sideline, getting the word on what to do next.
I love seeing the big guys school do that. That was a good 40 yards. That was a 7 flat. Got it.
Pass incomplete on the play. Coverage number 34.
That pass incomplete,
Fourth down, Shaker.
making it a fourth down for Shaker's offense. Let's see if they can just cash in one last time. 3 hours and 6 minutes has this game gone on.
I don't want to have another afternoon game.
And here, Edie dropping back. He's under pressure. He's working his way to the near side. He'll evade all the sacks. Now he'll run to the far side. Fourth down and 10. He's somehow still making the play happen, and now he's hit out of bounds as he lets the football fly.
Turnover on down.
Turnover on downs. Heights is going to get the football.
First down. Heights.
51 seconds remain. The Heights offense celebrating as they're getting set to make their way out. And already is the press box clear to the Shaker coaches. Cleveland Heights will go on some sort of postseason run. Last year they made it to the round of 16. This year it's not looking the same. But you never know what kind of Cinderella run they can make. And there's the first knee down. And they've only got to do it one more time. And that is the Battle of Lee Road. 40 seconds remain up onto the clock.
Heights offense clocks it.
And now the final knee down, and that'll be the game. And your final going to be 54-35. And that's it from here in the Cleveland Heights Stadium press box. We're about to make our way out to Parma for the men's soccer playoff game. Shaker Heights fighting for their District Northeast 7. We're going to call that, of course, that broadcast will be a bit delayed because we're not going to be able to get out in Parma by the 7 o'clock kickoff. But for now, that is the end of the Shaker Heights regular season, and they're not expected to make the postseason. So that is going to be it on the Shaker Heights football season. This year they're going to be finishing off 3-7. They won those first 2 games against Willoughby South and Brush, and then they won last week against Medina 22-21, and what a game that was, and what a run this has been for Shaker football and all these seniors playing their last game. I would also like to take a minute to thank everyone who has supported these broadcasts. This is going to be my last broadcast because, well, I'm a senior. I've called 39 of the last 42 Shaker Heights football games, and I am honored to have represented this squad, whether it be a 7-4 season like it was last year or here where it was a 3-7 season. I am glad to have had this role. So thank you very, very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum. We'll see you as soon as we can out in Parma for that men's soccer call. Thank you.